Well, Margaret Thatcher has died overnight, aged 87. And we are hoping very shortly to speak with a man who, I don't know how you would have responded when this happened.
Why do people stop us in the street almost and tell us that Margaret Thatcher isn't just inflexible, she's not just single-minded, on occasion she's plain pig-headed and won't be told by anyone.
Would you tell me who has stopped you in the street and said that?
Ordinary Britons.
Where?
In conversation.
But I thought
in
you'd
pubs.
just come from Belize.
Oh, this is not the first time we've been here.
Will you tell me who and where and when?
Ordinary Britons in restaurants,
How
in
many?
cabs.
How many?
I would say at least 1 in 2.
I'm sorry, it's an expression I've never heard. Tell me who has said it to you, when,
These
and
are
where.
people that we meet in passing.
But
And we
at
At this stage, I would have exited the room and gone to the local dry cleaners and given them my pants and asked them to be returned in pristine condition. Goerge Negus, of course, the voice we recognise there from that interview with Baroness Thatcher. George, good morning to you.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good. I've got a question for you, George.
Yep.
Who were they?
By the way, I didn't go to the dry cleaner. Sorry for interrupting. I thought I'd better clear that up.
Who were they? The people that you spoke to?
Exactly what I said. You know,
Yeah.
cabbies, people in pubs, people in hotel foyers. And I said, which I think is probably the most significant thing, with a lot of phrases in that interview get plucked out of context. I said, probably at least 1 in 2, which means she had divided the country. It was as simple as that. And she still divides everybody's opinion about her and the way she went about things.
Were you surprised that she was surprised at your assertion? Surely she must know that there were people who had precisely that opinion of her.
I'm not sure. I mean, there are politicians and politicians who are absolutely convinced of their own wisdom always worry me. And I think that's proven by the fact that eventually, ironically, in political terms, Margaret Thatcher did not get voted out by the British people. She got tossed out by her own party. And they weren't faceless men. They were very conservative Brits who got in her face and said, we've had enough of the way you go about things. Not what you're actually doing, but the way you're doing it. And when Blair came in after her, he continued a lot of Thatcher's policies because the country did need a shake-up. It needed a kick in the rump.
George,
but what people were saying was that it had to be done the way she did it.
George, was she the most formidable politician you've ever interviewed? And if so, would it be because of her gender?
I'd say she was undoubtedly one of the most, if not the most formidable interviewee. I don't know about formidable politician, but definitely as an interview, yes. No, it had nothing to do with her gender. I sometimes joke, I usually only say what I really mean when I've got my tongue in my cheek, that she was actually not the first female leader of England. She was actually a bloke in drag. And by that I meant she played politics as tough as any man I've ever had to interview, and she performed like that in an interview as well. So without being even quasi-sexist about it, there wasn't a lot that was womanly about Margaret when it came to politics. Her apparel and that famous hairstyle, which she maintained right until the last couple of days, as I hear it. Yeah, that was very womanly in a very middle-class British conservative way. But other than that, she was boots and all, and that was Margaret Thatcher. And I think in the long run, ironically, paradoxically, her own mob had had enough of it.
I know you've got to go, George. Quick double-barrel question. How long did the interview actually go for, and did you know you had gold?
It lasted for about 32 minutes. We put about 20 to air. She demanded, by the way, at the end of the interview, when I got carpeted by her press secretary, we have never been spoken to like this. It was like I was the wild colonial boy. But I think, yeah, we used about 20 minutes, and I got out of there quick smart because I wasn't too sure that I was going to leave in one piece. So we're not pleased.
George, we know there's a lot of demands on your time this morning. We're grateful.
Thanks, mate. Nice to talk to you.
Goerge Negus, of course, and I think her press secretary then is the same person who released the press statement overnight that she had died. A person who in the Herald Sun is Lord Bell, and in the Age is Tim Bell.